You are listening to the Keith Harris Show Global Network right here on HotlineRadio.net. Now, without any further ado, we have the wonderful director, writer, and producer Chandra Gerson on the show today. How you doing, Chandra?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, as a matter of fact. It's back to Monday, back to business, so everything's good.
Good, great.
Right. How's the weather out there? You in California, Chandra?
Yeah, I live in California. Actually, today it's beautiful. It's actually kind of warm. It's like, I think it's like 79, 78 degrees, and then it's going to get a little bit warmer, and then we're going to cool down again. So
That's what's up. Lucky you guys. So, all right, now we'll get into book of choices in a minute, because that's really heavy. Like, I've been watching the trailer and keeping up with that film. But first let's talk about, you directed in 9 films, or is there more now? Or
No, it's well, this Book of Choices is my first feature, and I've done 9 short films. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Now, how did you begin getting into the industry? To let the people know.
Well, to start off, I always wanted to act. That was where it really started. And then basically but my mom's a heavy educator. So she said she was really big on me getting, my college degree and getting my education and everything. So I have a AA degree and a bachelor's degree in broadcast journalism. And then, I'm sorry?
No, yeah, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So then basically what happened is I think it was like my 34th birthday. I finally just decided, you know what, I'm not happy doing what I want to do, and I said, I'm going to go after what I really, really want to do. And so I started off as an extra, and I did extra work, and I had a blast, and I learned a lot. I know that there are a lot of people that, think extra work is not so great, but I mean, if you keep your eyes open and your mouth shut and your ears open, you can really, really learn a lot. And then I went on and I started taking acting classes, and I studied at Lee Strasberg Theater Institute, and then I studied with a couple of other people, and then I worked with Gene and Tony Bua. They're Acting for Life, and I started writing scenes for class, and I fell in love. I fell in love with behind the scenes, and that led to my first short film, which was Impaired Innocence, in 2009, and that was about domestic violence, and then it just went from there, and I started my own production company called Kit and Kat Productions, and been there ever since.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, that's I was going to say, because I noticed, like before, like you were saying, doing extra work, to kind of back up on what you said too. Like, I had done extra work as well, and it's true. When you're on the set, you learn so many different things. Just being there, just and just watching the motions that they go through. Kind of like driving. Once you watch people do it, you know what I'm saying, you kind of get used to it. So that's true. Like, extra work is really, for those that shun down on it, and those who haven't done it, extra work is really a great way to learn just little pieces, about the industry. Just, what people are doing on set, at least, right?
Absolutely. I think it's a great foundation. I mean, you learn what to do and what not to do. I've learned a lot of really, really serious lessons, unfortunately at the expense of others, but I mean, it's a great foundation.
Right.
I think.
Right, yeah. And to go back into the first short film you did, Impaired Innocence. Now, just touching on the issue of domestic violence and things like that, which is obviously a serious, a really serious issue. When you did that film, I mean, did you do that? Did you do that film so that you could really touch out and kind of reach, what people were going through, whether they were being abused on the male side or the female side? I mean, how serious was that for you?
That was basically my first couple of films that I did touched on social issues, because I felt that there were issues out there that really needed to be touched upon, and to be brought forth, even though they were old issues and, people know about them. I think that a lot of times they're put on the back burner until they're actually brought to light, or something really heavy happens in the news or whatever, and it was just my way of bringing attention to these issues that I thought were really important, because Impaired Innocence was about domestic violence. A Broken Image was about suicide. A Silent Scream was about self-hurting and, cutting and hurting yourself. And Habit. Oh my God, I can't remember.
You know what though? Hey, I know, right? You've done quite.
But I also did one on addiction.
Well, you know what? You've done quite a few films, but as you say though, those are issues that are important because people can relate to them.
Right.
As in Broken Image, just like you said, dealing with suicide. I believe you said that was really serious. Like when it came to making these, when it comes to making films like that, how, do you really have to delve into people's lives who have went through these types of things? Is it a touchy issue because you have to kind of be like right center between the line as to really offending people? Like you want to reach people, but you don't want to drive them over the board. Like where do you get some of the stories for films like that?
Well, it all kind of came from my own imagination, but I did a lot of research. And my mom is also a psychologist. So, there's a lot of psychology in the films as well. And the whole purpose of doing these films, as well as bringing it forth, bringing the message forth and getting people to talk about it and think about it, is also because they've been done so many times. I wanted to do like a fresh spin, like a fresh take on it, but still keep the seriousness, keep the message, and all that kind of stuff. So that's basically what I did. They're not stemming from anybody in particular. It's just a lot of the research that I did, and also the psychology and my own creativity and imagination.
Okay. Now with Kit and Cat Productions, first of all, congratulations and so much success with having that for so long. Now,
thank you.
How is it, running, how is it just in general? First of all, where did the name come from? Can you tell us that? It's a cute name. Where did you get that?
I kind of got Kit and Cat. It's not very serious, but I love animals. And so I was thinking of, I was kind of putting forth, I want my company hopefully to grow. And so it's starting off as a kitten, and then it's hopefully going to grow into this cat. So Kit and Cat Productions.
And you know what? I tell you what, Chandra, that's a cute name, right? I think, for me, I kind of thought of candy. Like, I think of the candy every time I think about the name.
Oh, yeah, like the Kit Kat bars, yeah.
Right. You know what, though? I like that because it really shows the diversity or the versatility of just, personality-wise, because, here you are, you're making these films that are really deep. They're touching, you know what I'm saying? They're touching on these really serious issues, but you still show that lighter side too, because look at the name Kit and Cat. It's just, okay, I'm going from a kit to a cat. Do you like cats, kittens and cats?
I love cats, yeah.
Okay, all right, that's what's up.
I love all animals, but yeah, I really, really dig cats, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a cat or?
No, unfortunately, I lost my cat in 2008, and it's been really, really kind of hard. A lot of people have said, well, a lot of time has gone by, Chandra, it's time to get another one, but I just, it's really hard, you know.
You come
to
close
lose
to
one.
pets. You kind of get close to pets as it is, right? So.
Oh God, yeah. She was like my daughter, you know. She was like my four-legged furry little daughter.
Word. Now, Burning Distortion.
Yes.
That you won a Best Drama Award for that, right?
Yeah, the New York Independent International Film and Video Festival in 2012. Yeah.
How did that feel? Was that, you know?
Oh, that was awesome. Well, actually, it was very surreal in the beginning because I went to the film festival and the awards are given out later. You know, so we went, we celebrated, we were excited, we had a great time, and then I think it was like about a couple months later, 1 or 2 months later, I really honestly can't remember how long after it was, but all of a sudden I got an email from them and it was like, congratulations, and I'm staring at the email, what? I was like, and then it just all sunk in, and I called my mom, and my mom was like, what? She couldn't believe it either. So it was very surreal, but it was amazing. It was amazing.
You know, that was great too, because, you know, like you said in the beginning, you know, then you got the, you know, with your mom being so forceful on education, which is good. That's always great. You know, but at the same time, that's a great feeling, because then you're like, look, Mom, I got this award. You know what I mean? So, which I know she believed in you the whole time, but still, that's like an amazing feeling. To receive that. Now, which one? Obviously, your passion lies within directing and writing and different things of that nature. But if you could go back, if you could go onto the scene, like, do you see yourself acting again in any of your films?
No.
Okay, that was going to be my next question. Like, you know, which one did you really have the passion to really do? Like, what's your real passion, even though you could do both? Was the acting just not for you, or you just like being behind the scenes, or?
I love being behind the scenes. Acting, it's interesting because, you know, sometimes you go through things, and you think you're going down one path, and then all of a sudden you find out that you went down that path for something completely different.
Okay, yeah.
And that's really, in retrospect, when I look back now, it's like I don't regret ever doing any of the acting stuff that I did, because I wouldn't be able to direct and I wouldn't be able to work with my actors the way that I do, you know, if I didn't have that experience. So, you know, I love acting, but my real passion and where I really feel at home is behind the scenes and directing.
Okay. Now, just to kind of find out about a few of the films, Knott's Scary Farm, okay?
Oh, yeah.
What was that about, Chandra?
Well, it's a tradition. I've been going to Knott's Scary Farm ever since I think it was like 1982 or 83.
Okay, so
and they had their 40th anniversary a couple years ago. And so I just decided, you know, to kind of chronicle it from a fan's point of view. And it was just something fun in the beginning to do. I mean, there was no crew. I shot it on my iPhone. I was with a friend of mine, and so he basically was he was like my actor, and I was interviewing him and taking footage of stuff that I could take footage of. And, you know, then afterwards I looked at this and I thought, you know what, this would be really kind of cool if it would be like a fun little short doc, you know, like a documentary from a fan's point of view, you know. And so I got together with my editor, Phil, and we put it together, and we entered it in a couple of, you know, film festivals that, you know, would be interested in something like this. And, you know, so there it happened.
So Knott's Scary Farm is like a real place then?
Oh, yeah. It's Knott's Berry Farm. Have you ever heard of Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park?
No, I haven't, as a matter of fact. No.
Oh, okay, yeah. No, it's Knott's Berry Farm is in Buena Park. It has a lot of rides. It's known for like its jelly and jams, and they have like a ghost town there, and Calico Mine ride, and all this other stuff, and the log ride, and everything. It's like a combination. It's a smaller park. It's not like, I don't think it's as big as like Magic Mountain or Disneyland, but it's comparable to it, you know. And so what they do is they have every year they have something. They dress up the park for Halloween, and they have mazes and monsters roaming around, dry ice going everywhere, and it's a huge event. I believe it started in 1973.
Oh, okay.
It's just like a little haunt, and now it's grown into this huge, big thing. Yeah, if you want to look them up, you can check it out on online, and you'll see how big they are. But yeah.
All right. Now, A Gracious War, like going into the 2014 short films, A Gracious War. What was that about?
A Gracious War is basically about a police officer. Well, it's actually a detective, and his life has been marred by tragedy, and so he realizes he doesn't realize how much he has in common with the suspect that's been brought in, and there's a big interrogation room scene, and that's the main focus of the film, and there's twists and turns and stuff, and so they have some stuff in common. This suspect and himself.
Okay.
So
and
yeah.
Just so for those short films, like now people just to give all the listeners a bit of an idea. Now can they still go back and find these films to be able to go watch them and stuff like that?
They're nowhere online. Okay. Is that what you were asking?
Well, or anywhere, or like...
No. They're not online. In the beginning, when I was doing my social issues, like burning distortion, or not burning distortion, but impaired innocence was never, that didn't go anywhere, but Broken Image and Silent Scream, I put those on YouTube originally, and believe it or not, some companies in other countries actually stole them.
Oh, wow. See, now that's the problem. That's the problem with it. Now, see, that's the only downfall, and I hear a lot of filmmakers say this, like, with things being able to get out there like that, you want your films to get out, but then at the same time, people are bootlegging them, and they're getting their hands on them, and that's not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I spoke to an attorney just to what do I do? How do I stop this? And just a cease and desist is all it took. And they took him down, But, they were charging people to watch it. And so that was it. That was, I still have my YouTube account under Kit and Cat Productions. But what I basically do now is that's, all you can see are trailers and stuff like that. And right now I don't want any, stuff out there anyways, because, I've got a couple of things that are out at film festivals right now. So.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you allowed to talk about some of the things that are out at the film festivals, or? Well, don't talk.
No. I'm waiting to hear from the film festivals.
Okay.
And basically, with some of the film festivals, you can't have your stuff online.
Right.
Some film festivals, they don't care. Other film festivals, it's no, you can't have it. You can have a family preview, where friends and family are and stuff like that, but you can't have it to where the public can see it.
That makes sense, because it could kind of sway or take some sort of effect, before it actually hits the festival. Now, okay. Now, look. Now, I know you take good care of all your films, but there's something very special I feel about Booker Choices now. Okay. Now, because I looked and I watched the trailer, and it seems like it gets deep. It gets it has a dramatic feel to it, which again goes into what I like about what I like about your your writing and things like that, is that they have a serious feel to it. And I looked at Book of Choices. I told a couple people, like, I could see that later on being something that's coming on, like, every Tuesday night, like a series or something. What is Book of Choices about?
It's basically about a guy who's very, very unhappy. His name is Carl Johnson, and he escapes reality through reading a book of short stories. And basically what happens is these short stories come to life in the film. So they're kind of like 4 short films wrapped within a feature film.
Okay, and he's reading these books now, and so as he's reading these stories, I mean, he's actually, like, does he go to sleep and he wake up and he's living them, or is he intentionally trying to live them, or?
No. Basically what happens is just the stories come to life, meaning, like, he sits down and he opens the book, and you see him and you see the title, and then that's it. The story begins, and then it's the short film. And basically what the viewer is seeing is basically his interpretation of what he's reading.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And then it comes back to his real life. I mean, there's a real story going on too. It's not just about, him reading a book of short stories. There's a whole other storyline that's going on that's, So, yeah. And so, but basically what Book of Choices is all about is we all have choices that we have to make in life. And what happens after we make those choices, the outcome of those choices. And it's a very basic, idea, but I think a lot of people, as we go through life and when we have decisions and choices that we have to make, I don't think we tend to a lot of times think of the outcome of the choice that we make.
Right.
So it's all about living with the outcome as well, and what happens and everything. And there's a lot of, choices that, the main character, Carl, has made that isn't so great. And there are choices that he has to make in this film as well. And there's just twists and turns and, the viewer may be thinking that they have it all figured out, and then all of a sudden they realize, oh wow, no, I didn't have it figured out.
Well, yeah, because that is a matter of fact, what you just said right then really just kind of threw me for a loop, because I didn't think I had it figured out, but at the same time with watching the trailer, I'm like, because I see this scene, like one of the scenes in the trailer, he's getting screamed at by also, Donna Lee Heisen, big shouts out to her too. And like, I think he's done something wrong. Like he's messing with the girl, like his girlfriend, or he does something bad, or did he make a bad choice, I assume? Like,
that is a short story. Basically, what you're seeing, because we have three teaser trailers out there. So all the teaser trailers are basically all the short films, because we have not put any of the main storyline in it yet. We've got 2 more scenes that we've got to finish, and then we are finally wrapped.
Okay, that's exciting right there, because you just said, y'all didn't even, look, you guys.
Well, we've been doing this since 2012, so yeah.
So, I mean, okay, the film in itself, how long did it take you to write these stories? Like, did you write one at a time and then work on the next one? Did you have it together already, or?
No, Burning Distortion was already shot by the time when I came up with this idea. A Gracious War, Detach was already filmed, was already shot. That's another story. And then A Gracious War was written as I was coming up with this idea. And then I wrote Salvation of One for this story, for this film as well. And then basically how it all came about was my mom and I were in Vegas, and for the Detach was an official selection at 2012 Vegas Fin Fest. And so we were at that festival, and we had come back. I had been toying around with the idea of using some of my short films, and I knew that it was time that I had to do a feature film, because I had to prove myself, just like actors have to prove themselves and do a demo reel. I have to do the same thing as a director, and I needed to prove that I can do a feature film. And so I was thinking, well, what can I do for a feature film? And so I started thinking, well, maybe I can incorporate some of these short films, but how can I do that? And so then it was one night, really, really late. It was in October. My mom and I had gotten back to the hotel, and we were talking, and then Book of Choices was just basically, came to be, by, I think it was like around 4 o'clock, 4 or 5 in the morning, the outline for the film was finished, because my mom and I started throwing around ideas, and I was writing everything, on pieces of paper, scratches of paper, and then I came home, and I wrote it, and it was finished in about 2-3 weeks.
You know what? That's as I listen to it, I can see, with these different short stories, all having different plots. I can kind of see where that could lead into the feature film being Book of Choices, because they all have their own scenario to them, right? Like, each story is just like 3 different people having 3 different lives. So it kind of coincides with everybody's got a different situation going on, right?
Exactly. And the main character and how it all kind of stems together is going back to what the story is really all about, which is choices. Because in every single one of these short stories, the main character has made a choice, and now they have to live with that choice.
Okay.
And what's the outcome of that choice?
Okay.
And so that's how it all kind of ties in together.
And that gets, and like I say, it gets deep. And for everybody out there listening, make sure that you go and watch this trailer. Like, I remember I used to post a trailer, and I got to the point I don't want Chandra to get mad at me. Like, I'm posting too much, right? But, I would look at it and I said, wow, like just the scenery, and look, even the lighting in the trailer, just kind of got me, because it gives you that inside, it's a warm feeling. Now, are there different stories that have, an outside feel, like an outside feel to it? I guess, I guess A Gracious War, like that's one of the stories in there. Now, is that kind of more focused on being outside, or
Do you mean physically outside?
Yeah, like shooting, like, a lot of the scenes.
Okay, yeah. No, Burning Distortion is the one that was filmed outside. It was entirely, except for the last scene, all of it was pretty much shot on a beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Okay. So we had a blast.
And the weather, I'm assuming the weather, you guys shot it out there, so I'm assuming the weather was...
Oh, yeah. It was absolutely beautiful. It was absolutely beautiful. We all came back extremely sunburned. But, yeah.
Now, directing, being which part seems a little bit more difficult? I know it's not difficult for you, really to say, because you're a professional. It's what you do. But which one is the tedious part of the work? Is it the directing or is it the writing?
I would say producing.
Really?
Yeah. The writing is not really that much of a problem, and I do enjoy it. Directing is what I absolutely love, and that's what I'm hoping I can, actually make a career out of doing. But producing is something that I have a whole new appreciation for it, but at the same time, I really don't like doing it. There's so much to do. And when you don't have money to hire an assistant and everything falls on your shoulders, it's really, really, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. I mean, it's hard enough, I think, with people even who even do have assistants. You know what I mean?
Oh, wow. Look, I tell you, and I say this all the time. I just do a talk show, right? And and a lot of the weight is on the shoulders, and the same thing, like like you say, when you don't have like this whole big staff and things like that, then you're kind of doing things yourself. But now,
right.
in a case of what you do, it's got to be just out of this world, because you got so many people, you're running around and you're trying to tell people to do it. Now, directing is kind of more like giving instructions, right?
Well, kind of and sort of. I mean, I'm basically working with the actors, but I also have to make sure that my cinematographer knows the type of feel that I'm looking for. I mean, there's technical aspects to it too, but I definitely am more of a creative, director, and I consider myself more of an actor's director. However, I definitely want to educate myself more on the technical end. So once the book of choices is really 100% complete, I'm going to be looking into getting some classes under my belt from like UCLA or USC or something like that, their film school, because I really want to educate myself more, and I want to learn more, because right now I'm just going with the flow and I'm learning as I'm going, and it's good, but also definitely, I need more education.
As I hear you say, you're kind of going with the flow. I mean, I understand that totally, but like, you have done a lot of work, and to be going with the flow, you've done pretty well, Chandra, to be going with the flow.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So when you talk about that, but then at the same time, like you say, I guess it's good to take those classes, because then you can get to where are you editing yet by yourself? I know that's got to be
crazy. Oh, no. No, I don't want to be an editor. I'm very, very happy with my editor, and I told him that he can die when I die.
I know that's right.
Yeah. I said, you can go when I go.
I know that's right.
Editing is something that I definitely have no desire to do. I want to work with an editor like I work with my editor now. So in that respect, if you're talking about, sitting in an editing room and editing, technically, no. But yeah, looking through the footage, picking out the clips and all that kind of stuff, that I do. Okay. So actually, I should have asked you. Are you talking about the technical end of editing, or are you talking about?
Well, you know what? I don't. To be honest, I don't know really. To me, all editing is kind of technical, right? Because.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because because that is, even for me, when it comes to editing is like the really crazy part. So, I know when you were saying you wanted to, just learn how to do different things, because I'm thinking like you're doing wonderful at directing, you're doing wonderful at writing and producing good. So what else do you want to learn?
Well, I definitely want to learn more of the technical stuff when it comes to directing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And understand me, because when I ask these questions, it's like, all of this is, I'm in the dummy book about most of this, so that's why I don't know how to direct, right? I think I know how. I feel like I know how to produce, but just because I try to do my own show. But a lot of times, I'm gonna be honest, Chandra, I don't even really know the difference in directing and producing. I had to ask that one time on the show with somebody, because it seems like when you're doing all of it. As a matter of fact, I was speaking to Gregory Blair on an interview, and he was, kind of trying to break it down to me about what the difference was, and like it was just so confusing. So it's got to be a lot of technical side to producing. Is that the camera work and things like that, or?
Yeah. Well, for a director, yeah. I like to think of producing. That's like pretty much all business.
Oh.
Like all the business and like the hiring and finding locations and all the kind of the pre-production and finding the money and all the business end, type of stuff. But yeah, a director definitely. I mean, they have to. They have to have a really good communication, with their entire crew, know what they want, and work with the actors as well,
Okay. Now, do you have a ETA or, of when Book of Choices might be released, or when people can look for it, or?
Well, I'm happy to say that we're actually on time, on schedule, which really kind of surprised me, because I really was beginning to think that we were going to wrap in January, but we're actually wrapping, in December. December 9th is going to be our last day, and that's when we're wrapping. And then we're probably going to start, I'm probably going to start editing with Phil in January. And so I'm figuring probably maybe around April or May is probably when, we'll be finished. And I'm giving it a lot of time, just cost-wise and everything. And then, we have to submit to film festivals. Hopefully we'll be finished before then. But, then there's submitting to festivals and seeing what happens.
Right. Now, are they, I know you say you guys are finished up on time and things like that, but is there, any way that people and listeners and people out there who are waiting on the film, is there any way that they can get involved to kind of help the campaign out or anything like that?
Oh, our campaign just wrapped, finished on Saturday, and we got funded. We were successful. Okay. So, yeah.
So that's taken care of.
Our Kickstarter is finished, yeah.
Look, congratulations on that, because I hear so many people get discouraged, with doing that, as a matter of fact, and not being able to find funding and things like that. So that's amazing. But again, it just proves just the vision that a lot of people see behind Book of Choices, I guess.
Well, it's not easy, it's, when you don't have a name, either in front of the film, in front of the camera or behind the camera, and nobody really knows who you are, and you're very, very generic. Like, drama is very generic, so it doesn't really, it has a following, but it doesn't have a following like maybe sci-fi does, or fantasy, or horror, or something like that. Not to say that all Kickstarters that, are from that genre, like horror and stuff like that, and I know that there are a lot that don't make it, that aren't successful either. But when you have a following, it's kind of easier. It can kind of help you sometimes. But when you have a very, very generic, like, drama is very, it's just generic. Drama is drama,
Well, it's like drama's good, but it's like you say. With these different films where people are doing the action or everybody's bleeding and all kinds of stuff like that.
Right.
Then, in my opinion, I think movies have became easier for people to watch. I know that there used to be a time where, people had to really sit down and really be interested in the storyline itself. Whereas nowadays, with a lot of films, people don't really have to follow the storyline. They can just follow the action and what's going on. All of that stuff is telling a story. So really, for you to be able to write, stories like to put into Book of Choices is, it's actually great, because it seems captivating. It seems like it's going to be able to hold the crowd. There's action without action. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I hope so. I hope it does. I hope people, walk away from this and think about it and, reflect and, just get them thinking, because that's what I love to do, and those are the type of films that I like to make. I'm not a big CGI person. I'm really more about the story, and I love to entertain, but I don't want to create a film or write a film, that's just for entertaining. I want there to be a message. Absolutely. And I want to get people thinking, and that's what I do. And so those are the type of films that I like to do.
And myself included, and I feel like a lot of people feel that. Like, it's like you say, me, I don't. Nowadays I don't sit down as much and really get caught in films that have the storyline that I have to follow. But again, like I say, when I looked at the trailer to your film, I got stuck. It caught me. It trapped me. And it began to be a story that I wanted to follow. And so, your actors in the film obviously did a really great job as well, because they were able to capture people's attention just with the motions and and things like that, the performance.
Yeah.
So
I feel very blessed to have the cast and crew that I do. I have some amazing talent, and in front of and behind the camera. So yeah.
Right. One of your there was an interview that I had watched also. I believe with one of the people who's leading, one of the ladies who's leading in your film. I can't remember her name right now. I think she's from, what is she from Chile or something like that?
Oh, Chile, yeah, Claudia Coloma.
Okay, yeah, that was it. And I sat down and watched that. So, and she's also in which story? She's in the.
She's in both. She's in both Detach and she's in Burning Distortion.
Oh, okay. So that was. All right. Well, yeah. Look, Chandra. Listen, it was amazing talking to you. I've been waiting on this time, and I'd like you to come back too, if you will. After, once the film festival's going and whatever's coming up next, please come back to the show and let me know what's going on, and let's talk more about it.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd love to. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, Chandra. Look, everybody out there, all the listeners, make sure that you are going to the social media. Oh, Chandra, tell everybody about. Look, I'm just seeing the book in my mind. Like, all I want to do is watch the film. So,
we're on Twitter. Book of Choices has a Twitter page. We have an official page. Actually, it's ChandraGerson.com. Because that's what I was told how to set it up. So it's under my name rather than the film. But and we also have a Facebook film page for Book of Choices, a Twitter page, and and that's it. Oh, and we have an IMDb page. Yeah, Book of Choices. And so on our IMDb page and our Facebook page and our main website, that's where you can see like all the teaser trailers and all the trailers to everything. Yeah.
And one thing I wanted to also say too is I love the book. Just to is that going to be the cover of the film? That book with the Book of Choices words on it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That.
Yeah. I had a book that's made to look like that. So yeah, that is the book.
Yeah, that book is catchy too. Like, that's something else that people look at me. You're seeing the book and you're like, okay, Book of Choices, and it's like you want to open this book, because it's like something's gonna pop out on you, right? So it was great doing. So once again, Chandra, thank you for coming on. It was an honor to speak with you. And look, I'm behind you. Everybody else out there, all the listeners out there, keep up with it. If you don't keep up with it, I'm gonna be putting it in your face all the time anyway. Because I'm just telling the truth. Like, I'm excited about it, and I know a couple people. As a matter of fact, I know a few people on my end that are really looking forward to the film coming out. So, kudos to all your success, Chandra. And look,
thank you.
Keep doing your thing, and we look forward to hearing from you again.
Oh, thank you, and happy Thanksgiving.
Oh yes, happy Thanksgiving too. You're looking forward to it. I know you're going to be working probably before and right after, but are you going in the kitchen this year? Or are you just going to the
No, Boston Market's doing the cooking for us.
Oh, really? Okay, that's what's up. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I haven't figured out. I'm thinking of buying one. I'm looking at prices for cooked turkeys and everything else. so we'll figure it out. But have you ever had a fried turkey?
You know what? I've always wanted to try because I've seen them on TV and they look really, really good.
I have too. I keep seeing them on TV, but you know, I'm afraid to. I feel like I'm gonna be breaking the tradition of the whole turkey going in the oven, but I don't know. I haven't had one yet, so maybe this year I'll find out. Might
there you go.
Might get two. All right, Chandra. We'll be talking to you soon.
Okay, take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was amazing. Chandra Gerson, director and writer of the feature film Book of Choices, which I'm looking very, very, very forward to seeing myself, and I suggest all you out there keep up with it as well. You know, and as well as me telling you that, I'm pretty sure that you will see it. You know, it's going to make a lot of noise. It's going to be big on the scene. So just remember you heard that, and remember, you know, that you heard it from Chandra Gerson also as well. Also remember to go to the social websites, the Facebook pages. Just type in Book of Choices. It's going to pop up on you everywhere. So you cannot miss it. Trust me. Watch the trailer. It's the next big dramatic film. So, you know, big shouts out to her and her whole team and the whole cast for doing a wonderful job. Congratulations as well to all